Okay. Are we doing is this happening? All right.
Yes, it's happening.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first ever Verguba podcast. I would like to start this off by saying I have no association with this whatsoever. They have me signed to a legally binding contract to where I am legally forced to appear on this
What the fuck
podcast.
are you talking about, idiot?
With threat of being kicked out of my house and all of my
Oh
money
my
being
God.
taken. So I would just like to make that clear before we start. What would you guys like to say to start?
My cat's in the room.
Okay, very very epic. Thank you, Spray.
Oh,
By the
sorry,
way, I'm
pussy.
Spence. In case you didn't know, I'm the most relevant person in this Discord call.
Okay, I'm kicking you out of this.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. Enough of my own ego. So we got Spray. Codex, do you want to say anything before we start?
Verguba?
Okay, thank you very much. And we have Lyra.
Hi.
Yeah, he's never joining S7. All right.
Ever.
So, first of all, let's get Rhythm out of here. We don't need him. All right, he's not necessary. What do we want to tell the story of how this all started? Do we want to what do we want to start this all off with?
It was a dark and stormy night.
Actually, it was where I was living. Or where I live. Do we want to kind of talk about that? Do you think that's a good way to start?
Personally, I just want to say, fuck Codex.
Okay, thank you very
All started at DreamHack Atlanta.
No. Okay. Inside joke. We're not going to talk. Okay. So should we tell the story though? Do you guys want to tell the story of how this all started?
If you want to talk
let's-
about a bunch of random fucking tweets, we can go ahead and
How
do that.
about how
do it,
we all
dude.
met? How about,
Okay.
about how we all met?
How we all met? Okay. So that's going to be
Yeah.
Spray and Codex to start, right? So you guys talk about that.
Hey, you got this, Ben.
So basically, God, was it 2017, Codex?
Yeah.
So in 2017, me and a couple of other 2K dweebs, the 2K dweebs tried to announce me to Codex. I don't know how to explain that.
Introduced.
Yeah, there you go. There's the word I'm searching for. They tried to introduce me to Codex, and I don't know why. I just created this vendetta for him. I hated Codex for no reason. For God, Codex, how long?
Hey, it's still like
It
that
was-
for me, all right.
It was,
So just
it was from March to in August, dude.
I just hated him for
November.
I hated him for no reason at all. And then in summer when we started playing 2K together, we became fuck buddies. So I mean, hey.
hold up. Hold
Sounds
up.
about
We
right.
started a clan that lasted 2 days.
Yeah, and then we started another clan. I
Ooh,
don't
lasted
know.
3 days.
So fast forward a bit. I was grinding for hype, and I made friends with Spray a little bit. And I think one day we were playing Fortnite, and Spray said "Hey, can my friend join the party?" So this kid joins the party, and my first impression was dude, this kid sounds like he's 11. And so Codex joins the party. No offense, Codex, even though you're almost the same age as me. And at the time, I still think this. I was like, dude, this kid's hilarious. He's so funny. So that was a fun little play session there. And then fast forward even more. I want to say this was it was during the summer. This summer, right?
July.
Yeah, about July-ish.
Right around-
I was.
I would say maybe at the very end of the hype
Yeah.
GRC.
Yeah, around there. I was chilling in the Hype Discord server, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think Spray joined, right? Or no. Wait, so no, it was Lyra. Lyra was in the chill zone of the Hype
Yeah.
Discord. And then I joined the chill zone with Lyra, and it was really one of my first interactions with Lyra. I didn't really talk to him that much.
So
What was I gonna say? So we were just chilling in there for I would say a good hour or so, and then Spray joined, right? And
Yeah.
then we talked for a while. We were just it was kind of getting late, and then and then Codex joined. And does anyone else want to take it from here? Maybe. Oh shoot!
Lyra, you want the mic?
Not yet.
I mean, I don't really remember this night, to be completely honest. All I remember is that it was late. We started tweeting random bullshit.
Oh yeah, bro. We were all tweeting our drafts. We were.
I didn't have drafts, so I was looking up things to tweet.
Yeah, I was tweeting like all my drafts, dude.
And lo and behold, I found the glory of Verguba.
Here,
as I
let me
was-
look it up on my screen. So the tweet reads. Okay, boy. Boy, do I really love hashtag sex. I really love putting my hashtag penis into looks at some smudged hand writing on hand. Hashtag Verguba.
Yes.
And it's a banger tweet, to say the least.
Yeah.
It's like the best tweet I've ever seen on my timeline. Or just in general, the best tweet I've ever seen. And basically, we just started saying this word. And we just we thought it was so funny, bro. And it was funny. It was so funny. And we eventually decided to name this stupid friend group after it. We parted.
Yes.
I would say like a couple days later. We were up until like 3 a.m. in this Discord in the hype server. By the way, I think Trip joined at one point, and
Trip came by and was
Right.
like,
yeah, and
"Oh my
Rockamoose
God."
did too. Rockamoose did too, right?
Rockamoose gave us smoochies.
Yeah, and it was a really fun night. We were up late, just kind of chilling, vibing,
I
having
do
fun.
remember Rockamoose smoochies.
Yes,
Who could
Rockamoose, we
forget?
love you. And yeah, I mean that was pretty much that night. That's just kind of how the friend group started. I think we made a Twitter like a week later, and then we proceeded to start beef with Unfunny like every 2 weeks. And
That's
I
not us.
started
That's
being
Kodak.
Unfunny.
yeah, that's
I started being
yeah, that's
Unfunny.
Codex. We can talk about that too if we want.
So, Codex, how's your North grind going?
Hashtag North Codex, boys.
Hashtag North
Easy.
Codex.
Dude, I'm still like.
I deleted the
high-key looking
tweets out
into
of
it.
pity for myself. I've lost friends today.
Axe.
Bro,
Dude, I do still kind of want to grind for North. Like, I won't lie.
On the podcast, though?
Yeah.
all right.
Hashtag North Lyra.
Cause I wasn't joking about it, dude.
Yep. All right. Cool. Well, that's. I think we're. I think
Let's
that.
carry on.
Read my nickname.
Let's carry on.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. We apologize for that. We do like to drag each other a lot in this server. What do we want to talk about next? You know, there are a few things. Bro. All right.
Do it.
Okay.
I was
Let's
gonna
stop.
do
Let's
it.
stop. Let's stop. Let's stop.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh, boy, I
So
love
what do we
dragging
want
my
to talk
boys.
about next? I mean, we could talk about a lot of things, you know. We could talk about like the beef with Unfunny. We could talk about the whole Codex incident.
Dude, we
Let's
can
talk about Carson and North.
Like,
Yeah.
okay.
That's a pretty hot topic right now.
You don't want to talk
Here's
about
the thing.
the secret
We
thing
doing
for
this?
Edith?
We doing? Oh
love-
no!
Oh, I love Helios.
Oh, wait.
I have my babies. He looks like Logic, dude.
Yo, I'm gonna text her right now.
Bro.
Oh!
Wait,
You
who are
said-
you texting?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Helios. Oh, fuck no. I completely take that all back. I heard Helios. I think your mic cut out, dude.
All right, boys. I just texted her. Hey, with 6 Ys.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
No.
Let's talk about your love for her.
Okay, so let's talk. I don't even know what to do.
So, do we talk about North Carson himself,
Oh!
Clips Grinder, or do we
Talk
talk
about
about...
Do we
Clips
want to talk
hockey.
about Eclipse?
I don't know. Do we want
I don't want to
talk about
start. I don't
Eclipse?
want to start beef on the podcast.
See, I just kind of want to talk about Carson as a fucking human being in general.
I mean, go for it.
Sensitive 13-year-old. That's about it.
Yeah. Um,
Wait, Spence, I have a question.
I have not.
Spencer, he has a question.
Answer?
I'm getting
Spence.
egoed.
Oh my god. You're getting egoed by Hype Spence, aka Hype Spencer James.
Never thought I'd live to see the day.
Damn.
Earthneck himself.
All right, sorry. Wait, what did you talk about? I was talking to my dad.
I'm trying to remember. I had a
ask you a
question. I
question.
don't remember what it was.
I have a question for you, Hype Spence.
Okay, what's up?
Oh, hold on, let me think. Fuck. I don't remember. What were we talking about before he left? I don't remember.
Unfunny and no, Carson.
North Carson. Oh wait,
Oh.
never mind.
Got a Lear's S7 grind.
Okay,
wanna
we
talk
can do
about
that. Do we want to talk about that?
Can we bring Bayo into this?
Basically, Lyra's never joining S7
Ever.
Agreed.
ever. That's pretty much
Ever.
it. Yeah,
Not
Ever.
good enough.
not much more to
Hey, but if you ever want to spot in Ruth Regions, hit me up.
Same, dude. Hit me up.
Okay, just for that comment. Just kidding.
I own shares of Ruth Region.
You own shares? Wait, Spray, do you own Ruth?
No, I leave.
Needs Ruth.
Bro.
Jesus Christ, is that the Midnight Snack Gang pulling up?
All right, seriously, this is like the
This has gone from
okay.
like.
Carry on, dog.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay. What do we want to talk about?
Dude, I'm
Bro,
just.
we
I'm
didn't-
trying to. I was gonna ask you
we
like,
didn't
was this a
do
serious
any
question?
planning.
No, I don't remember
Okay.
it.
If you can think of it, that'd be great. We
Oh,
can-
man.
Something we all have in common that we could talk about.
For Fortnite.
Update. She sent me hay with 4 Ys.
The
back. What do I
community?
say now?
We could talk about the community, except for Codex. He's irrelevant.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Shut up, Lyra.
Why are you
Fucking
targeting me?
butt.
What
Fuck.
did I ever do to you, man?
Okay,
Hello.
so let's talk about the one thing that at least brought 3 of us together: hype grind.
Ooh.
Let's talk about, first of all, why both of you stopped your hype grind. Shut up. Okay. Or do we want to talk about that? Is that too? I don't know. I'm just trying to think.
I mean,
of
we can.
things.
We can talk. I don't personally. I
I'm-
don't mind talking about it.
I'm fine with it.
Okay, let's start with Spray because I know Lyra's is a little more probably longer and like in depth.
Yeah, mine's a little more. in-depth.
Mine's really a bitch-made move, but when the GRC came out and like, they weren't. Fuck off, Codex. Fuck you. You suck a dick. But when the hype GRC came out and they weren't looking for creators or directors or anything, I was just kind of like, oh, that's cool. It's been like 7 months, and you're not looking at me. Sick. And to add on top of that, I never got like connections with any leads or anything. Nobody really like talked to me except for fucking Bamify, and that's like,
It's spam.
Yeah, it's fucking Bam. Like, who cares about that dude? He is like 60K on TikTok for no fucking reason.
Bam, we love you.
Bam,
Love you,
I hate you. But yeah, no, I wasn't really talking with any leads like at all.
Mhm.
Like, no one really noticed my grind. At least I feel like no one noticed my grind. And I just felt like it was kind of pointless, so I just kind of stopped. I was just
Okay.
like, fuck it.
All right. Yeah, and that's totally fair. You know, I remember when the GRC came out, me and Disc just like sat in a call for like a few minutes, and we were just like both talking about how like demotivating that was, and I definitely don't deny that. How about I'll talk about mine in a sec because obviously mine went a lot different than your guys's.
Totally.
Yeah,
let's-
clearly.
What about you, Lyra? What was the deal with your hype grind? You know, like overall, what did you think? How did it start? How did it end? Like,
It. All right. I remember. I want to say it was probably mid-December of 2018, probably. So just a little under a year ago. I saw a bunch of the streamers that Hype was picking up and using, and using is kind of the wrong term there, but I saw the streamers that they were picking up and recruiting and helping out, and I saw the growth that all of them were receiving from just like the support from the team and all the positive feedbacks from everybody, and that's something that I wanted because it was like I was in a bit of a rough patch, and streaming was kind of like my gateway kind of out of all of it.
mm-hmm.
So I remember deciding I wanted to go for Hype, which actually I started off by joining a team called Escape with a couple of guys that were in Hype. With I was in with Bayo and Fresh at the time, and we
Escape
were
Convoy.
yeah. So I remember being in Escape and just trying to make something for myself from there. It was working out. I affiliated, everything was going cool, and then the GRC came out, and I started I was talking to Stallion a lot. I became really good friends with Abby.
Can I just say real quick, Stallion is like one of the best dudes in the community, if not the best. Like I love that
I agree.
guy.
He knows what he's doing, and that's
sure.
that's really important.
Yeah, I highly doubt he's watching. He's not watching this, but really happy that
Love
he's
you, Stallion.
really happy that he's head of
Love
content
you,
at Hype
Sally.
now.
I've only come to one of your streams, but you're super fucking dope.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
So I remember, I think I was hanging out in a call with like Trib, Nixie, and who else was there? I don't know. I think it was
I thought you told me Fresh earlier.
No, this was like before Fresh got recruited.
Oh, okay, got it.
And we were all just like chilling and having a good time, and it was enjoyable, man. Like it was the kind of people that I wanted to surround myself with. And then they kind of started moving in a different direction than what I was interested in, and now it's really like I've noticed the team has gotten really esports based and stuff like that, and I wouldn't necessarily say based, but it's like
it's definitely something different.
It's not just like definitely like leaning more towards the esports and professional side of everything.
Yeah, it's not just like a community team anymore. If that makes sense.
Right,
it's
and
gone above that.
At the end of the day, as nice as streaming and making content would be as a job, I don't want to look at it as something that I have to feel like I have to be professional all the time to do. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like I don't want to, because I feel like that puts me on limits that I don't want to be on.
Yeah, for sure.
So I remember, and I think in that call that you were talking about was me, Fresh, Trip, and Orion.
The man, I love you on him.
And we
and I love Trip and Fresh, legends. Anyway,
we were talking about how in order to play like a positive factor for Hype, you have to bring something. Like Hype is the kind of organization that will help you grow if you're able to help them grow. And at that time, I mean, aside from the big, when Hype did the rating streamer stuff and all that, I mean, other than that, I wasn't having a lot of success with what I was doing. I was doing things that I enjoyed, but it wasn't what other people enjoyed watching. And I mean, since probably mid-August, I've been in this kind of rut, like this creative trench, I guess, where it's like it's just been kind of hard for me to get back on and want to record or want to stream or do anything like that, because if I myself don't see myself as entertaining, so it's hard for me to want to make want to try to make entertaining content if I don't see it that way. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So
It's definitely.
I stopped grinding for hype because it was
1 sec.
I knew that the team would bring a once in a lifetime opportunity for me, right? But the main problem with it is, like I said, the team was gonna bring huge opportunity to me, but I wasn't gonna be able to return that for a significant time down the road. And here I am, almost 5 months later, and I'm still not at the point where I'd be able to play that type of positive benefit for hype.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just I wouldn't have been able to contribute as much to the team as they needed me to.
Right.
That just made it difficult for me to want to keep going with it.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely see that point. So should I talk about my hype grind now?
Yeah, sure. I was
Okay.
actually wondering about like your how well, I guess you can kind of branch into that, but I was wondering, one, about your grind to get into hype, and then two, after you got into hype, what your experiences with it have been,
Yeah.
and if there's any roadblocks, obstacles,
Okay.
stuff
Yeah, I can
that you
talk about
feel
that.
has changed with your content, your personality, and all that.
Okay. So when I started my grind for hype back in December, I was not really in the community. I had been following a lot of people in the community, for like a lot of the bigger people, for like a good year or so. It was almost like I was kind of just like observing the community from the outside, not really interacting with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I pretty much joined the community. I found out about hype, first of all, from when Rockamoose joined, like, I'm talking last year, like the first time. I think Dots was in there.
Yeah.
Tristan was in there,
I
and
remember
what's
that,
his name? Kites. And
Kites.
yeah, so like
Oh.
early new gen hype, basically,
Yeah.
is when I found out about hype, and then I decided to grind for it after the Red RC, because I went for the Red RC just like as a director, because Black Ops 4 just come out on PC. I wanted to try to like become a PC COD YouTuber, kind of like Mitch now, Obey Mitch, if you know who I'm talking about. Obviously, I'm not as good at sniping as him, and probably will never be. But I wanted to like take over that whole COD PC side of YouTube, and I mean, I definitely made some significant progress. I made one video called like how to boost your FPS on Black Ops 4. It got like 7,000 views. I made a cut com about Walmart making gaming PCs that got 1,000 views. That's the last time I hit over 1,000 views on the channel.
And just talk about Walmart more, dude. It sounds like it's working for you.
Maybe. But I tried to take that over, and then as COD, well, okay, so I started grinding for hype while I was making COD videos. I was a COD cut-comer. I was really boring. I'm a very, very chill guy in general. It's just kind of like my personality. And
Yeah.
I didn't really change that in my videos at all. And that has changed. But I just was like my complete natural self. And the thing with that is that can work if your gameplay is really good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my gameplay wasn't really good, and I was just making overall bad content. After I started my grind for hype on Black Ops 4 on a game, I just stopped enjoying. Like, as Black Ops 4, you guys probably know this, the first couple months of Black Ops 4 were rough because they were not updating things. I don't know if you guys know this, but the snipers on PC were nerfed in comparison to the snipers on consoles. The bolt action time, like when you cock back the bolt, it was like a whole like 3/4 of a second on PC as opposed to like a quarter of a second on console. So it was really slow. Like the Paladin was unusable. The Koshka, because of its slowness, Koshka was pretty much unusable because of, first of all, hit markers and just the slow times. It was really bad. and I just wasn't enjoying Black Ops 4 anymore. This previous summer, I'd made a lot of Fortnite content, and it had done okay. I was really bad at the game. I don't know how some of my videos did as well as they did, because they were horrible. But I started playing Fortnite again. I'd kind of just started hating on Fortnite, being one of those kids. And I started playing it again, and I was like, wow, I forgot how good this game is for content. And I just kind of fell back in love with Fortnite. So I started making Fortnite videos again. And although my numbers went down for a long time, I'm starting to get them back now. Um, the quality of my videos in the 9-month span that I was grinding for hype exponentially increased. My quality just skyrocketed from what it was at before. I was making way better videos, and one thing that I finally decided to change was, or not change, I hate to say change because then it sounds like I'm being like fake, but I sort of developed my personality. I like to say develop because I'm still me, I'm still my natural personality, but I do make myself a lot more fun in videos, and I've found it like rubbing off in other parts of my life. I'm just like a lot more fun in general now. And now I'm pretty fun in my videos, maybe not funny, but I'm fairly entertaining. I'm a lot more upbeat and less monotone. Obviously, I'm a little monotone now because I'm in a podcast setting, but it's like when I'm recording my videos, I don't put on a personality. I just kind of like amp up my current personality. So I started doing that. My video quality went up insane. And one thing that I talked about on Sidey's podcast, which should be coming out later this week, I'll give a more in-depth thing on there. But one thing that set me apart from all the other director grinders, set me apart from a lot of the directors in hype, besides Rye at the time, was my consistency. I uploaded at the beginning of my hype brand. I was uploading every other day, and I just, even though I took that down, and I'm kind of starting to get that back now, I was just consistent. I was uploading twice a week. I wasn't going for weeks or months without uploading. I was just always uploading, and the leads definitely saw that. But what really kind of brought me to the point where I was like joining hype was a possibility was so Trip made a tweet. I would say it was during early summer. He made a tweet about wanting to work closely with more Fortnite content creators that are passionate about the game and consistent. And I replied to that tweet, and I was like, hey, shoot me a DM. And he actually did later that night. And he got me into a call the next day and basically told me he wanted to work on Fortnite content for the Hype channel. And he got me into this call with this other dude named Sloopy that he had found. Now, if you know who Sloopy is, he's a very, very smart dude, very smart with the YouTube algorithm. He doesn't really know how to stay consistent with one channel. Like I said, I like him, but he needs to work on that. But he got me into this call with this dude named Sloopy, and he was like, okay, I want you guys to record a video for the Hype channel. He had me get in a call with an editor and a player for Hype Unit at the time, and he was like, if you record a video well and do well, and you can do this again multiple times, you can join Hype and help create content on your own and for the channel. And it didn't end up working out for a few reasons. There were pretty much everybody was pretty just inconsistent with it. Nobody really put in a lot of effort, including me. I didn't put in a ton of effort. However, I was still in contact with Trip, and I still made sure that my contact with him didn't fall off. I would say stuff like, I was always asking him about creating content. The reason that first initial video never happened is because my video file corrupted. And I felt terrible. I was like, oh, shoot, I might have just ruined my chance to join Hype because this video file corrupted, and I told him that. And the thing that stood out to me about Trip was he just told me straight up, hey, accidents happen, things happen. Just take it and learn from it in the future, and just you'll be good. And then the other dude that was helping, Sloopy, he quit at the time. And basically that didn't end up working out. We were in a few calls, me and him, with Trip, and that just didn't end up working out because he quit, and it just wasn't really good dynamic because Trip introduced me to him. I didn't know this dude at all, and we didn't, I know him a lot better now, and, everything's better now, but, we just didn't really click at all.
At the time, it was more like a chemistry kind of thing.
Yeah, and, when we were playing, he would, I was still pretty bad at Fortnite. I'm getting a lot better now, but he would like kind of say stuff like I forget, but like you were so bad. And I think one time he rage quit and left because I made a really bad play, and it just it wasn't working out because I just met him. Like I said, didn't know each other, and it wasn't a good dynamic. And basically, even at the time, I mean, I don't know about now. He's a lot nicer than this now, but he kind of egoed me, and it just got to the point where it wasn't working out, and then he ended up quitting. So that whole hype Fortnite content for the channel obviously never ended up working out. So fast forward a little bit. Trip asked me if I would like to edit for the hype channel. I did do it for free. A lot of people would frown upon this, like asking a grinder to edit a video for free. A lot of people would say that's like taking advantage of grinders. Personally, I didn't really see it that way, just because I understand that you need to do things to, first of all, get your name more out there, and just kind of overall advance yourself in the community. You know, obviously, it wasn't like too shady in my opinion. It just didn't, like, Trip was always really, really nice and genuine with me, and he was like, hey, you don't have to do this. You can do it if you want. I kind of want to work with you more closely because he liked my editing. He really liked my consistency. Whenever I was in calls with him, he would always compliment. He was like, you're killing it with the uploads. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to edit this video for the hype channel. I love video editing. And I did it. Unfortunately, the video I edited didn't end up ever going up, which sucks because it was a really good video, but it just got to a point where it wasn't really worth it to put it up anymore. And then I edited another one that actually did end up going up, which I believe is the prank kicking hype members.
You can literally tell that it's a Spence edited video if you watch
sure.
Spence.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. I have a very unique editing style, which some people hate, some people love. I don't edit like a lot of other directors, but I edited that, and that was like, first of all, that got me associated with the team in some way. And then I just started like getting my name out there in the Hype Grinder chats. I was getting added like every time Hype would kind of, I don't want to call it a clout tweet, but say like who's grinding for Hype. I was getting added like 10, 20 times. Oh, for sure. And I was always getting added. And then I saw this other grinder. Well, first of all, I made friends with Spray while I was grinding. I made friends with Disc a little bit, although I haven't talked to him in a while. But he quit and everything. And then I haven't really. I don't want to say I mean, I'm kind of friends with him. I started seeing Zico being added a lot with my name, and I was like, I didn't follow Zico. He didn't follow me. And then I started following him, and he had edited for Hype a little bit too. And we just talked a bit. We never really played together or anything, but we talked in DMs and such. And we checked out each other's content. I really liked his content and streams. He really liked mine. And we just started. We kind of became like the two most like mentioned Hype director grinders and two of the most mentioned directors. We kind of became community favorites in a way. Like, I'm not trying to like gas myself up here, but we definitely became
ego.
we definitely became, me and Zico became community favorites. And we were just grinding, we were killing it. I remember Zico almost quit one time, and that was like really, I'm really glad he didn't quit because he like I would say like a month later he joined Hype, and we just kept grinding. Right, it was getting to the point. I'm not gonna lie, there were a lot of times while I was grinding for Hype that I wanted to quit for many, many reasons. But I stuck with it. You know, something, even when I was looking at teams to grind for, I knew about North, and I almost grinded for North at the start, but something about Hype just like gave me a good vibe, and it was just like that gut feeling, like grind for Hype and like just don't give up. And I just had this gut feeling not to give up. And then I would say, well, a little over 2 months ago, Ninxie added Zico and I to a Twitter group chat, and he was like, I've seen you guys have been grinding for a long time. I want to talk to you guys just about like, you know, I've checked out your stuff. I want to talk to you guys, give you advice on what to do. And stuff like that. And Zico and I totally, I mean, this was true. He wasn't lying to us. But I know personally I didn't really think much of it as far as like actually getting recruited to the team. I thought he was actually going to give me genuine advice. Because and he did. Well, okay, yeah, I want to make it clear he did. Because Nixie's that kind of guy to like, give people advice and just
Yeah.
like try to help them and give them like harsh, like real advice.
Yeah,
So
he's a genuine ass dude, man. He's one
yeah,
of the realest people I've ever spoke to.
yeah, so for sure. So that day was one of the worst days that I've had in years. Up until that point, I mean, I'm not going to get into too much detail, but a family friend had just passed away. Our entire family went over to his house in our old neighborhood where we thought everybody hated us. And it was a rough day because we were with this grieving Okay, I just opened hype content and saw something I regret. But dude, Abby, I swear, dude, Abby seems like so PG on the timeline. She's like the most sus person.
What?
Anyway,
Way to
so,
sidetrack yourself.
yeah, sorry. I just opened hype content and saw something disturbing. Anyway, so it was just like a horrible, horrible day. We were with this grieving family in this neighborhood that we were kind of afraid of, and it was just not a good day at all. I kept having to delay. Zico was ready. So Nixie asked us to get on the call in this Twitter group chat. Zico was ready for hours, and I was driving home, and I was just like, I had to keep delaying, and I felt really bad because I felt like I was wasting Nixie and Zico's time. I get home and I told my dad, I was like, hey, I've got an important call to be in a second. He was like, what? Like, because they don't really know about this whole community thing or YouTube too much. And I was like, look, just trust me on this. I've got to go. So I go up to my room. I get in this call. It lasts for about, I would say, 20 minutes of Ningxi just kind of, he asks about us. He looks at both our channels and like screen shares and points out things. He made note of my upload schedule and my thumbnails. At this point, I was about around 800 subs, so he noted that and said, like, it's cool that you're coming up on 1K and everything. And he just overall started giving us advice and like, sorry, one sec.
If Abby drop, never mind.
Anyway, so he gave us all this genuine advice. He gave me advice on my videos. He gave Zico advice on his videos and streams and stuff. One thing he noted, he noted both of our brandings and just stuff like that, and gave us really good, genuine advice. When I thought the call was over or about to be over, he kind of snuck in. He was like, "Okay, well, that's pretty much all the advice we want to give you." He kind of just said pretty quickly, like, we're going to bring you two into the team. And I was like Zico and I didn't really realize it at first because he just said it so normally. He just kind of like inserted it in, and we were both a little stunned because we didn't really realize what had just happened. And then I was like, so wait, are we joining? He was like, yeah, you're joining Hype. You're getting announced tomorrow. And it just like, it was because
So it
like
was
this
like-
is 9
It was like a flash then.
it was 9 months of work, kind of all like led up to just that one crazy moment. And
Yeah.
like something that I'd been anticipating happening, it just happened. Like it finally happened. Like I was just so happy, man. Some people would call this cringe over like a COD team, but I was just like, I couldn't stop smiling. Ningxi said he had to go to a meeting, but he said he's like Monte was working on the announcement tweet graphic and everything already, and he was getting it scheduled for tomorrow. He DM us of when, and bro, it just like I just couldn't believe it, man. Zico and I just like stayed in the call because we had our webcams on after he left, and we were just like kind of smiling and laughing because we didn't really realize what had just happened. We got added to Hype content chat, and everybody there was so happy to see us, like Mikey, Rockamoose, Colby, like all these people. I think even Stallion were just like really like welcoming us, and it was an amazing night. And it was even more amazing because it just turned around like one of the worst days of my life,
Yeah.
by far. And it just it was insane. So I felt like, I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but like a little kid on Christmas Eve, when
Yeah.
you're like excited for the presents in the morning. I couldn't sleep that night. I took sleeping pills. I just couldn't. Like I lost sleep because I was so excited. When I got to the morning, I even had a short day at school. It felt like the longest school day I I had ever gone through, because I was
The
just like
longest
in
short
class.
day at school ever.
In class, dude, I just sat there and just was just thinking about it. I was so excited, man. Nixie sent the graphic in the little Twitter group chat, like the announcement graphic, and it just made it all so real. And he was like, "Yeah, this is going up at 11 PST." So, or no, sorry, 12 PST. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. So I called into work because I wanted to be home and at my computer when this happened. I called into work. I was like, I'm taking the day off today. I just need a break. And they totally understood. So I took off the work for my hype announcement. And so after school,
Bro.
I said bye to my brother. I just went straight home, drove straight home, and then just got on TweetDeck. And the last 10 minutes before that announcement felt like hours, bro. I was just sitting at my computer because no one knew. I really wanted to tell Spray, like, very badly, because, I knew Spray would, like, freak out. But I didn't tell anyone, bro. I didn't tell anyone.
Sure, I was in a party with Spray when that happened.
Yeah,
You
so
were.
I almost got in the hype Discord too, because there were a bunch of people in the chill zone. I wanted to have their reactions, but I didn't end up doing it. So I was on TweetDeck, remember, live updates, and the tweet went out, and bro, just, I can't even describe. My notifications were like a waterfall, bro. It was so fast. I just started seeing all these likes, all these comments on the tweet, and I just sat there stunned for a sec, just watching all these interactions on the hype tweet, just like scrolling and scrolling. Like I couldn't keep, or TweetDeck couldn't keep up with it, and TweetDeck auto updates, and I just sat there and I was like, oh shoot, I got a tweet joined at hype. So I tweet that, and Zico tweets that, and I just sat there on Twitter for the next hour, just replying to comments, liking comments, and I couldn't stop looking at my joined at hype unit tweet. And I remember while I was grinding, I was like, I really wanted to draft that tweet because I knew it was going to happen, but I was like, I'm not going to draft it. I'm going to get the satisfaction of typing it out when it happens. And it was just insane, man, because it was just that hour, just like sitting on Twitter, replying to all these comments and everything. It was just one of the most insane experiences I've ever had, because it was just like all this hard work kind of culminated in that one moment. That was my hype grind. It was pretty epic. It got really, really hard at times. Certain North Lead tried to convince me to stop. Not gonna say which North Lead tried, but could probably guess.
We all know.
20-minute monologue, bro.
Anyway, sorry. Do you want me to talk about my experience in hype? No.
No.
No? Okay. Cool. Codex is bored out of his mind. Yeah, Codex, what do you want to talk about?
Codex, you haven't talked this entire podcast. Let your feelings reap, brother.
You can cry if you want
Tweets
to.
out of sorrow for myself. I lost friends today.
You should talk about that. You should talk about that day.
So basic. Nah.
No?
You should talk about the day that you got kicked from Verguba and how you ended up back here.
Okay. So, one day, I decided to crack a joke. Actually, no. I was in chat first. I was like one day I was like, wow, y'all some simps. And they were like, and then out of nowhere, I'm like, dude, unfunny, really full of simps. And then I typed that into chat. I'm like, should I tweet it? No one said yes, and I did it anyways. And I was like, unfunny, full of simps, bro. Dude, and I immediately, like 2 minutes, like I just went off my phone for like an hour because it died. And immediately after that, it just fucking Tori, fucking Mikey, and Vale. Actually, no, Vale didn't do shit. But no, like they just replied, started trying to clown me, dude. It was crazy. And then I argued with them.
And then you
and brought
mentioned
Vergubas into it.
and then you mentioned the one team. The forces. Yeah. And then
Oh,
and
Oh,
then
yeah.
all of North director side.
Dude.
By the way, love North, like to.
Yeah, we love
We
North.
love North.
I love you, Lummy.
It's not
so
like your
much
name is
Helios,
Frick
but,
Northern
like,
Forces or anything, but yeah, we love North.
love North. Not so much like the toxic side, but like we love the real side of North. Okay.
Dang.
Basically all those directors.
And then
North
Dots
cool guy Jones.
Dots subtweeted you.
Omar Hantow subtweeted me.
No, you
That
can't say that.
happened.
Okay, redo that.
Okay.
So who subtweeted you?
Owner of North. Who's Dots?
Dots. Yes. And
Dots.
then Spray got Gamerger and blocked Codex.
Big boy gamer dude.
Grrr.
And then,
It's actually the sound effect that he made while he was doing it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise
And it
me.
proceeded to go on for like almost a week.
Oh yeah, he was kicked from Vergubas for almost a week, and like he
I
was trying to
remember-
talk to me behind, or like I was talking to Codex, and he was like, I was like this weird middleman, and then finally,
The only middleman.
like I think the following Friday, everybody in chat was like, we were talking about how we miss Codex because at the end of the day, it's a friend group, it's not a team, and
Yeah.
I was like, well, if Spray unblocks him, I'll add him back to chat. And then Spray was like, and
And then we made a second chat.
Yeah, we
so
made a
could
second
add
chat.
Codex.
and then Spray unblocked him, so we added him back to main.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that,
and that's how I met your mother.
In DMs, then he's like, "We're best friends now." So now me and Dots are pretty cool.
I hate people who subtweet. Like no, like not as a joke. Like half the time I get subtweeted, it's joking. But like those other kids who fucking subtweet people, like actually, like seriously, like I hate it when you guys do this. Real ones, fake ones, like what, dude? Like you have to hit like 3 buttons just to at the person you're talking to.
Unless they
We're
really
talking
long
about-
at.
Plus, you can type in the first 2 letters of their ad and immediately find them.
No, not if it's something stupid, dude. I'm not saying it's stupid, bro,
What
but
if it's
like
ad for
every time
Google?
I go to add Spray, I forget the H, and then I end up with like some Febreze company, and that shit bothers me, dude.
Not as a stupid as ad. Should just be Spray VG.
No.
Ruth Spray.
Oh god. Here we go.
Please spray.
All right, Spray. Let's talk about your
Talk
grind
about
for
his-
S7 and how that went for you, bud.
Oh, hell no. He uploaded twice and joined.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I streamed for 2 weeks straight and didn't join.
I mean,
He did a
I
24-hour
don't really
stream.
know how to explain that.
I did a 22-hour stream.
And you did a 12-hour where I was there for like the entire time.
Yeah, that was epic.
I did a 5-minute video.
You did a recording, or you did a what was it? A spectators video.
Oh, I should join S7. I was in all of your videos. Where's North Neck, bro? I want to hear his monotone voice again. And basically, it was the best day of my life, right after the worst.
Dude, honestly, if we want to talk about the best day of our lives, when I got into that call with Swinjay and Fang to get
Orbit?
recruited to Orbit Clan, dude, that was pretty fucking epic.
Oh, the best day of my life.
And not only was it just me, we were recruiting the entire Orbit Clan director side that day. So they brought me in first, and they were like, hey, you want to make some videos with us for the channel? And I'm like,
He said, no,
I mean, I don't really know, like, when I can be free, but sure, I guess. I was a slow-ass person.
Just slow in general.
I'm slow as shit. And
Every meeting of
they
the
were
work-
like, okay, basically, do you want to join Orbit or not? And I'm like,
just
Hey,
like that.
bet.
yeah, I'll join Orbit. Shit.
Orbit.
And I still got the
Joking.
jersey to this day.
This man bought a $30 jersey and left the next day.
Dude, I don't know, man. I made a tweet like 3 or 4 days ago where it's like, I don't understand why smaller teams make pro jerseys.
Making merch
Grinding
sound
for
way better.
S7.
Grinding for pro jersey.
Y'all buying that spray merch?
Facts.
Not even real, dude.
Facts.
Dude, I'm doing a minty giveaway on the podcast. I have like
Yo,
2
all
codes.
y'all gotta do is follow our channels down below in the description.
Facts!
Or Joss on
No,
Twitch.
deadass,
because
deadass.
he's literally a faggot. And
All you
then
have to do
basically
is-
comment letter by letter minty and do not get interrupted and you will get a minty code. I swear to God.
Here's the thing.
No scam. This is 100%
Facts.
You
legit
have to
process.
make a video
Sorry, I
praising
had
the
to
Vergubas.
go.
30-minute long video praising the Vergubas. Like, as soon as this video drops and you get to this point in the video, okay? And I will give the first person who does that a minty code.
I missed a lot because my parents were yelling at me.
Is it recording at least?
Yeah, it was. Okay,
Okay, good.
Okay,
Bro,
And I'm recording anyways.
Can't yell at you because you're not.
Just say, Mom, I'm in hype. I'm better than you.
just ego my
I make
parents.
more money.
Yeah, did I miss
You
anything
go to
important, really? I left at the point where Codex had
Talking
just
about-
got done about the unfunny thing.
No, we were talking about North Spray's fucking S7
Yeah,
grind.
Yeah, we were talking
His
about
orbit
sprays,
grind.
S7 grind, and
What grind?
Talk about Lyra's S7 grind.
I streamed for 2 weeks straight. I did a 14-hour stream and I didn't join because Matthew doesn't know who I am.
Oof.
You know, we love Dare Rising in the chat.
And then me and Matthew had a 9-hour conversation in DMs and now we're friends.
Epic.
And
And you're
I'm
never
still not
joining
in
us
S7.
7. Yep.
Rumor has it
How
that
about
Dare Methy does.
Rumor has it that Dare Matthew won't kiss me tomorrow because he hates me.
Okay, let's talk about how
Right.
I joined Dare in 2013.
Oh, you want to talk about
Wait, just
temper.
one sec. We've been recording for 53 minutes. It'll probably be cut
Okay.
down to like 40. How much longer do we want to go?
I don't know. We got any more topics?
I mean,
Back in 2013, I died.
we do want to save things for other episodes, you know? So
Yeah.
if you guys feel like this was a good enough starter episode, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah?
that's fine.
Okay.
Sure.
And yeah, sorry I kind of dipped
Hey, let me do
there,
the
but-
outro. Let me do the
I
outro.
got the outro.
All right.
No,
you
let's
do-
all do the outro.
What do we do?
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a subscribe, comment, and like. Spray.
If you don't, you're gay.
Don't like the video in the next 69.3 milliseconds.
Your mom's a hoe.
And you got
Epic.
kissed by James Charles like to undo.
All right.
Lyra?
Like the video in
I hope
2.9
guys-
seconds or your minty
I hope you
code
guys
will not
enjoyed.
work.
There will be more of these. Hopefully, they'll be a little more organized. We just kind of
Follow me, YouTube.
we weren't planning on doing this
user
tonight.
/UGHC345.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. And recording has been ended.